Hi guys, welcome to my second video, and this one I wanted to talk about my experience in engineering school. First of all, just engineering in general, you really have to go in and know that it's very time consuming. It basically sucks the life out of you for the next 4 to 5, even 6 years. You're probably not going to have a social life. And you really have to love it and don't expect that you're gonna make a lot of money. There is opportunity for that, but you really have to love engineering and math and physics to actually succeed in the industry, at least to the point of getting your degree. After that, not so much of the things you learn in school you will apply in the field, but before that, it's basically your whole life for the next 4 to 5 years. So if you are considering going into engineering, you should really know that regardless of what engineering you decide to study, it is going to be challenging. I know most people think or say or have the idea that civil engineering is easy. It's not as easy as people make it seem compared to the other engineering. Yeah, sure, there's other engineering fields like electrical, mechanical that are a bit more challenging, but that doesn't mean that civil isn't at all. So going in, you really have to have that mindset that you're gonna have to give up most of your time. Your social life is gonna be little to none, and you probably are not gonna sleep. So going into college from high school, I had this idea that it was going to be pretty straightforward and easy, just because I could juggle a bunch of AP classes at a time, and I was very academically focused in high school. But you go into college thinking it's just going to be kind of the same, but in reality it's a lot harder. And honestly, I would recommend, if you are considering going into engineering, to really ask for help and ask for advice from people that are farther down, like closer to getting your degree in the field that you're getting your degree in, because they know what classes to take and what professors are better than others to take for whatever class that is required of you. That's one of the mistakes that I made. I feel like I just thought that I knew what I was doing and just took all these design classes at once, even though my advisors advised me not to, that it was too much. And on top of that, I was working a full-time job. I think starting my sophomore year in college. Before that, I was still working, but I was working part-time, so it wasn't that bad. But I was literally juggling a full-time job and engineering school, and it was I would not recommend to anyone, honestly. It was a really hard time. It was just me literally driving back and forth and having hardly any sleep. Don't make academics your whole college experience. Honestly, if you want to be successful, you're gonna have to get used to failure. You're gonna fail exams, you're not gonna know what's going on. I just want to say, just keep going, honestly. Just keep going. If this is really what you want, just go after it. And anything is possible. Even if your professor tells you that you're not able to do it and you're not cut out for it, honestly, don't listen to them. Don't listen to anyone that's saying you can't, because if you feel that this is the career for you and the career path that you want to take, just do it. So I'm not trying to discourage you from actually going through it and becoming an engineer, but I just want you to be aware that it's not an easy way. I mean, not easy way. It's not an easy major. It's very challenging. If I could do it again, I probably would do it again, but it wasn't pleasant. There was a lot of times where I just didn't want to do it anymore and I wanted to quit. So that's definitely something that you will maybe go through, maybe not, but it was a very hard time in my life. And one of the advices that I could give you is that I would say get involved. That really helps. You really get to know how it's like on the field, because academics are very different from the actual world and what is expected from you. They just kind of touch the surface, and even that, they don't even hit exactly how it is. So experience is really super important, and I feel like that's what's given me the edge, because I did start early and I got involved in clubs. I was in SWE, I was in a construction management club, I even joined Titan Rover, which has nothing to do with civil, and at one point I did join also Hyperloop, and so I did get a taste of the different sides of all the engineerings, a little bit of everything, and eventually I did find what I liked and what I was passionate about. And when I was done with my degree, I was able to get a higher paying position because of my experience, and I easily got job offers, and it wasn't hard at all because of the past and my history and all the things I was involved in. And internships turned into a full-time job, which I still work at to this day. And in addition to that, I do have another job that is more related to my field. So in addition to getting your foot in the door, I also advise to form groups and just get together with other people, because usually students can explain better to students than your professor will ever. Sometimes your professor doesn't even know what he's talking about, and it's super confusing. And most of these engineering professors they have these really thick accents, and half of the time it's like, what are you saying? And they're just reading off the board. It's pretty boring. So there's an example. So I went to this exam review, and this professor was like, okay, don't miss it because it's going to be very important. So it's like the final review for your final, right? So then he spends the whole time reviewing these problems, and then he tells us not to worry because none of the problems he reviewed during the final review were gonna be on the exam. The worst part about that was that he made it seem like I had to go to his class, but the thing is, I actually went. And that was one of the 3 times I ever went to his class. Lastly, guys, honestly, just enjoy yourself, join clubs, go on trips. I joined a couple clubs, and with that I was able to meet people, literally drove to another state and just had fun. These people honestly will stick with you for a really long time. I still keep in touch with some of my engineering friends that I met at school and through clubs. So yeah, just have fun. So if you have any questions or would want to know more specific details about engineering school, working as an engineer in the field, just comment below. Also, make sure to subscribe, like, and hit the notification button. And I am gonna try to post every 2 weeks, so expect that. And I will leave below all my social media accounts. And they are different, but they're all, I would say competitively, because none of the problems he reviewed during the final review were gonna be on the exam. And that's engineering. Really? No, he did that, I swear. Because honestly, those are the last years you're actually gonna have time. No, not really. What am I talking about? Time? Why are you laughing?